What's good, everybody? Hopefully everybody's doing really, really well. I have no idea if the audio is working. I can't hear anything. I'm just gonna go with that. The audio is functioning, so we'll just go with that. It's definitely working. Hope everybody is having a fantastic evening. We're gonna just do a bit of I don't know. We'll do like a Q&A video, sort of. I always like these types of live streams, and then we're not gonna make it really long. I don't really like long live streams like that, but we're going to keep it short because I have a flight tomorrow and I want to be able to actually be up to make all of that. So we're just going to roll right into this. So first things first, let's go ahead and check out the chat. We've got a lot of people here. We got Jake's Drone Life. We got Fly High Wisconsin. Paul's here. Kovaction Dronography. Got Joe and Micazzelli's here. Leonard's here. Ariel Sean. Sunshine. Or was that Sunrise Water Media? I'm super tired if you can't tell by my face. We got Ford Truckers, Joe Fatello. See, did I see Eddie in here? I guess I didn't see Eddie. Eddie's not here. We got Zach Morrison, Dennis Maxey. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for hanging out, joining the stream. We got I got B-Max Visuals here. So the gang's all here. Let's get into it. Alrighty. So first things first, I want to do a bit of an update. I was going to make a video on this, but I feel like there's just not enough of information just to do just a single solo video on just this one update. So you remember the guy that smacked his drone into the helicopter, and he was eventually arrested after an investigation took place, and they figured out that, you know, this person, Andrew Hernandez, Andrew Rene Hernandez. He's 22 years old. He's out of Hollywood. He was the pilot of the drone that smacked into the chopper, causing it to land. Now, the chopper didn't land, you know, like it didn't crash. It obviously, they made the decision that, hey, something struck the chopper. We need to take it down. So they did that. So he pled guilty to reckless flight. And the significance of this plea is that this is the first criminal prosecution of a pilot here in the United States. Now, there have been people that have committed crimes with a drone, but not for reckless flight. So not for reckless flight. Now, here's the deal. When I initially first covered this story, I was like, you know what? I want to see this guy raked over the coals. And I sort of feel like got a little bit of a change of heart as far as that goes. I don't want to see this guy's life ruined over a drone, that's silly. Yeah, he made a stupid decision. Nobody got hurt. So we don't play what ifs. We play what happened. And what happened was nothing. Nobody was injured other than he did cause some damage to a chopper. So that sucks. It doesn't cause any bearing on remote ID or anything. That decision was already made well before all this shit went down. So he's facing 1 year in prison. That's the maximum that he's going to face. Now, chances are he's never going to face any prison time whatsoever. From what I'm reading and what his public defender put out, he doesn't even have an attorney. Like, he doesn't have a paid attorney. He's got a public defender. And from what they have said, he is not going to face any sort of jail time. So that's a good thing. But he is going to end up probably paying a shit ton of money in restitution to fix that chopper. He's going to pay a lot of money to fix that chopper. So I don't think he's going to face jail time. I think that would be on the extreme end of things. I think that they're going to go lenient on him. I mean, he was, when they did confront him, finally, he was pretty open and honest on it. But holy shit, that would suck to go to jail, spend a year in jail because you flew your drone like that. That's insane. That would suck. So I don't know. I would hope that they just find him. Sometimes finding somebody is more detrimental than actually putting somebody away in prison, because when you hit somebody financially, you almost put them in a bad situation, a situation where it's actually worse than putting somebody in jail. In jail, you have almost no responsibility, really. But when you put somebody in a financial disposition, now they feel the wrath of everything. So, but that's it. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So that is what it is. I saw somebody said, so Mikey got it raw compared to him. Well, there are two different situations. Mike's situation is entirely different in comparison to this gentleman's situation. So Mike's situation is actually got a silver lining, because Mike's situation is civil penalties. So civil penalties don't carry the same weight, or we'll call it, the word I'm looking for, they don't carry the same consequence as a criminal charge. A criminal charge can follow this gentleman for his entire life, meaning if he gets a job, he has to list that, hey, you have a misdemeanor felony. This could prevent him from doing certain things in his life, as to where a civil penalty, yeah, they're going to put a lien against you. Yeah, they're going to expect you to pay. But if you never pay, there's not really shit they can do. It's just birding, basically. So there's not a lot that they can do with a civil fine versus a criminal fine. So really, neither situation is great. I wouldn't want to have either situation, but if I have to have one or the other, I'd rather take the FAA fines over this, because at least you can negotiate your way with the FAA. When it comes to a public prosecutor of the state, they're going to stick you to the coals, and that's exactly what they're doing with this gentleman right here. So, sort of sucks, And to be honest, I haven't really followed up too much with Mike, so I don't even know what's happening with his situation right now, and I don't even want to speculate or talk about it, because it's not my story to tell. And when Mike's ready to talk about his story, he'll talk about it. So there's that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do any jail time. Exactly right, John. In California, chances of him doing any sort of jail time is probably negligible at best. All right, so let's talk about CES and what went down in the drone industry. So basically nothing. There was nothing unveiled at CES that is really worth talking about today. I looked over all the different booths, and there's just nothing. There was nothing at CES as far as drone goes. CES this year was held digitally. Okay, so AirPeak. Yeah, AirPeak was announced, but I mean, unless you have a Sony camera, I mean, or the means to purchase that, then that would be amazing. I don't know. I'm not really excited about the Sony AirPeak at all. It's a cool concept. It's a cool drone, but the problem is, I think a lot of times we get so excited about a new brand, we get so excited about something being brought into the marketplace, and then it always falls flat of the hype. There's a lot of drones similar to AirPeak that's out there that can do similar tasks. So to me, it's not like It's not really anything groundbreaking. If you ask me, it's not anything groundbreaking. It's interesting, but it's not groundbreaking. You know, it's yeah, exactly. Air Peak is in concept. It's not actually flying. It's not even available. We don't even know the cost of it. I would imagine it's going to be pretty expensive. And then you also have to tack on the fact that you need a camera. And because Sony's name is on it, I would probably venture to guess that they're not going to let you mount the Fuji. They're not going to let you mount the Panasonic to it. They're probably going to make it proprietary to their cameras, which sort of sucks. I could be wrong. It would be cool to have them do that. B-Man, I'm doing the show solo. I'm probably, to be quite honest, guys, I'm going to probably start doing the show sort of more of a Q&A because we're not going to be doing streams like every single week. And the reason why I'm not streaming every single week is one, I'm far too busy for Apex. Like my side business is just so busy. I really don't have time to sit and prep a stream. So I'm going to probably go back to streaming bi-weekly versus every single week. Plus, two, drone news has been honestly really slow. And the other thing is, I just stopped giving a fuck, to be honest. I just rather fly. And if I want to create content, I'll create content. And if I don't want to create content, I don't create content. I just don't get the same joy out of doing things that I used to do. Like YouTube doesn't have the same feel for me anymore that it used to have. I guess if I had to put it any way, that's honestly it. And I think, you know, I get to the point where it's like, if I don't enjoy doing something, I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm starting to get to this point. Like I really just enjoy flying, not posting videos. I fly probably seriously every single day, and I don't post those videos because I just fly so much. They're, you know, but it's fun to me to be able to fly, but I don't have to post it. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I'm in a rut. I don't know. Maybe you can call it depression. I don't know. But I just don't feel the same way about YouTube. I just don't. I guess I really stopped caring, I guess. Metro, thanks, man. I appreciate that, brother. Never necessary, but much appreciate it. Wednesdays were my jam. Yeah. Wednesdays was fun. But so here's another thing too. I'm also cutting back on how much I'm drinking. To be honest with you, this is the first beer I've had in probably a little bit, actually, which it feels good. It feels really good not to drink a lot because I feel like I have more energy. I feel like I'm trying to get healthier. I guess the best way to put it. I'm trying to get healthier. But it's just not, it doesn't have the same weight. So it has been a really, honestly, it's been an uninspiring year. 2021 has just sort of started off really flat, man. You know, you start off the year, January is usually the hottest month when it comes to drones, right? We have CES, we're out in Vegas, and, you know, all these manufacturers are releasing these new products, and they're showing you the greatest and latest tech that they have to offer for the year. And then this year, nothing. It's crickets. Now, a lot of that, could that be some of it to do with remote ID? I think so. I think a lot of manufacturers are honestly holding back a little bit because they're like, well, we don't want to make a massive financial investment into research and development into a new product just to have it shelved in, let's say, 2 to 3 years time. Nobody wants to do that, right? So I think that's the reason why we're not seeing a tremendous amount of products being announced. There's also not that many manufacturers in the drone scene either. You have DJI, you have Autel that's put out one type of drone, the Evo 2. They don't have anything else in their lineup that is that's consumer. Of course, they have commercial. They have the Dragonfish, which is commercial. But beyond that, that's it. You don't hear anything about Unique anymore. Matter of fact, I saw somebody selling a Unique Typhoon H for $300 on Facebook. $300, the Unique Typhoon H, $300. That's incredible. I remember when that drone was like $1,500 and they're selling it for $300. That's incredible. X Dynamics, they are supposed to be reaching out to me tomorrow. We're having a meeting. So we're supposed to be talking about the Evolve 2. I don't know where that meeting's going to go, but we'll find out when we talk to them Well, you are a cocky dude. Maybe that's why you don't care what you upload. It's not being about a cocky dude. I just genuinely don't give a fuck. It's not about being cocky. It's just whether or not you give a shit what you think or not. And the reality is, I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it. I just don't care. I've said it enough to know. I'm excited to see the dynamic 2, the X Dynamics Evolve 2. I think that drone has a lot of potential. What I don't like is that, they go to CES and then they show us this drone last year and it looked really promising. It looked super complete. A whole year went by, and I get it. The pandemic happened, which really put a lot of people behind, but then it was crickets. There wasn't a lot of communication. I think that their communication needs to be better. They need to have better communication. And one of the things I'm going to flat out tell them tomorrow is y'all need better communication. You need to be using Twitter. You need to be using your Facebook. Don't just drop a video with no context, because that just pisses people off that want to purchase your product. That just makes people angry. So, yeah, that's sort of weird. I think it's safe to say at this point, time of death for the V-Copter. V-Copter is 100% dead, yet their website is still alive and they're still taking money, which I think is shameful. PayPal needs to ban that. PayPal needs to turn that off so nobody is allowed to purchase or send any more money to them. They get no more money because they're still taking $100 for their freaking V-Copter, which is insane. They haven't even tweeted. They haven't even posted on Facebook. They've said nothing about the V-Copter since February, when the pandemic was first really in its prime. I don't think X Dynamics is dead. They're not dead at all. Matter of fact, I had correspondence with them. When was it? Today. I had a correspondence with them today via email. We have a conference call set up tomorrow. So 2:00 my time tomorrow, I'll know more about whatever's happening with the Evolve 2. So I'm excited to check it out because there's something new. We don't have really anything new. There's nothing new. There's no Mavic 3 at this point on the horizon. Nothing's hit the FCC. What do we have coming out, up and coming? We got the FPV drone. So let's take a look at what's the latest rumors of the DJI FPV drone. Let's take a look here. So let's see. I know that they just released the V2 goggles, which oddly enough, you cannot find the freaking V2 goggles anywhere. If I go to the DJI store, the V2 goggles are still unavailable. You can only buy them in China, but they're not available here, which I think is really weird. Like, why announce them if you can't buy them? Makes no sense. And I was really excited about the V2 goggles, even though that there's not going to be a lot of substantial differences with those goggles. What I was most excited for was, one, you now got HDMI out, and then two, if you hook up a 6S battery to the goggles, you're not going to blow the goggles up, because right now the old goggles can only operate off of 3S, 2S, and 4S maximum voltages. If you connect a 6S battery to it for a long period of time, you run the risk of damaging the goggles. So I was hoping that those would have been available, because my goggles currently today, right now, I have a dead pixel on the left-hand corner of my goggles. It's like, I don't even think it's a dead pixel. It's what they call a hotspot in the LCD. It's where there's like brighter pixels than normal in the LCD. It's really super noticeable. And because of that, I have to fly the screen in 4:3. I notice it. It bothers me. I'm super retentive about that. But it's HDMI out to, it's USB-C. You can actually go HDMI. You can go USB-C to HDMI. So if you have like the Mac USB-C to HDMI, you can use that and go right into a TV or whatever source you want. So it's HDMI out, which is pretty dope. I'm pretty stoked about that. So as soon as I get those goggles in my hand, we're going to be testing that out. I was hoping that we would see. I was hoping to see new air units, but there's no sign of new air units. So I was really hoping for a new air unit, like a smaller air unit. Like I've got this box full of air units I'm not using because I don't trust them. I keep shorting them out, which pisses me off. They're so expensive and they just short out, so it kills me. Do you think you'll do other types of videos such as more product reviews? Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you the big. I'm burnt out on product reviews. I'll probably do more tutorials. I like tutorials better because tutorials are something that you can go back and watch later on down the road. Product review videos are great, but this is the deal with the product review video. It does really well at the start, and then it just really tapers off when the product becomes less interesting. But with the review video, what I see is with not review tutorials, people will watch it and you'll have steady watch time and cross the entire plane, which I rather do tutorials. And tutorials don't cost me anything to do. I can sit down, do a tutorial, show somebody how to do something. And to me, that's better. That's evergreen content, is doing tutorials. So that's what I'm looking to do. Is I'll probably do more tutorials. Let me go jump into here. So Zach Mayfield. So Paul brings up a good point. So it's funny. Somebody actually leaked the entire video of the FPV drone. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea to do. So the guy that hosts Kinotika, I don't know if you've ever heard of Kinotika, but anyways, the guy that hosts Kinotika, he has his own private channel, and he did this vlog a couple of days ago where he was flying the FPV drone. He tried to blur it out, but he did a really bad job blurring the FPV drone out. The controller was exposed, the V2 goggles, which obviously now are out. And I'm wondering if the reason why they released the V2 goggles is because of that video. I didn't think about it at the time, but I bet you they released those goggles because of that video, because it was like literally the next day they released the goggles sort of prematurely. I think they did that. I bet you they released those goggles because of that freaking video. I didn't even think of that, but that would make sense. Yeah, 4x3 is honestly best for a freestyle. I prefer 4x3. I've been flying 4x3 for the past like 8 months now, and I love it. I can't fly anything other than 4x3. So, I mean, the dead pixel in the goggles isn't like a huge deal, but it is still really annoying. Like, I notice it, so it bothers me. But it doesn't actually impede on my field of view, so I don't really, I guess I really won't worry about it too much. What's the price point you think that the FPV combo will come in at? I don't know. It's probably going to be over $1,000, but I'm so uninspired by that quad. I just honestly, I'll review it. I'll look at it. I'll fly it, but I don't care. I just don't care about it. And I think that if I didn't fly FPV and if I didn't start flying FPV earlier this year, my mindset on that drone would be different. But because I started flying FPV in May and I got really hooked on it, I guess I'm addicted to it at this point. My mindset of the FPV drone is I don't like it. I don't like it. And I know a lot of other people are thinking the same way. You know what I mean? Like, they're like people that are in the hobby and that build their own shit. They're like, I don't really like that. Like, why would I want that? If I break it, I can't fix it. I broke my quad. You know, I broke an arm on it the other day. I needed a new arm. The new arm cost me $4 from Race Day Quads. I had it here in 1 day's time, and my drone is already up and running and fixed. So, I mean, that to me is pretty damn cool. Exactly. Hey, Dobo, quick question. I have a Mavic 2 Pro with the triple tech tablet. Can I use the DJI goggles in spectator mode for someone else to watch? I don't think so. Not with that tablet. I don't think so. I mean, you may, but you would have to have that FPV app installed. So maybe you could, but I don't think so. I've never tried it, to be honest. Honestly, Brad, I would probably not buy the Nova, to be quite frank with you. I would probably look towards something else. Like, there's a lot of other options out on the market. If you want to be tethered to an analog quad, go for it. But if you want to jump to digital, go with something else. Like, honestly, flying digital to me is just like amazing. I love it. I flew a little bit of analog today because I didn't want to break anything else, because yesterday I was breaking shit left and right. Um, so yeah, I would probably go with something else. There's so many other drones out there that are moderately priced. You can price it all out and be still under $500, to be honest with you. No, it's not going to be anything like a normal FPV drone. That's for damn sure. It's going to have the DJI feel to it, and that to me just. Mm. Real estate business, Sean, is doing actually pretty good, man. It's doing pretty good, actually. I heard workers might work with HDMI output from the controller. Maybe. No problem, Brad. No problem. Let's see. Trying to get caught up here in the chat. What's going on, Jake? How's it going, brother? Yeah, I mean, I flew analog for probably the first 2 months, and I think the thing that pushed me over the edge to go to DJI was when I switched over to 6S. I noticed that the noise in my video, even with having good capacitors and a good flight controller, and even routing my cameras to the VTX, I couldn't get rid of the banding. It was terrible. I had blackouts with analog. So once I switched to digital, it helped out a lot. But I run air units on I don't run air units. I run the Caddx Vista on all of my builds. So that's what I do. I run the Caddx Vista, and I haven't had any problems with the Vistas. Like I said, I have a box full of air units that I'm not using. The other thing too, it's really a pain in the ass to try to fit an air unit in certain frames. Right now I'm using the Source One, and that frame has been super, super good for me. I have had zero complaints with the Source One frame. I love that. But I'm going to be switching over. I think I'm going to be switching to the Apex frame. I built one of them, and what I like about the Apex frame is that it's super rigid, like a really rigid frame. Like, you feel it, and it just feels. I can understand why steel likes that frame so much. I can also understand why it's $100 for that frame, because one, it's built like a brick shit house, and two, you pick it up, and once it's all put together, there is no flex to that frame. It's absolutely amazing, and it has some of the best throw that I've ever seen on any sort of frame. And I flew quite a few frames. I've tried Armaton, I've tried Source Ones, I've tried multiple iFlight frames, I've tried BQE frames, and so far my favorite is that Apex frame. So that's what I'm going to be running for the foreseeable future. The Source One is great, man. I have the V4 frame. I like that frame. It's really solid, man. I really have no complaints with that frame. Eddie, you already got one drone. I have a couple of air units, man. All I have to do is deregister them from my my DJI account, and I'm gonna probably sell a few of them. Beer of the night is I'm drinking. I forgot. I don't have autofocus on this lens. This is a Stella Artois. I need to make sure I'm in focus now, because I'm using a manual focus lens. It's just easier not having it shift back and forth. All right, let's see. Yeah, Stella's the rock. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know, man. I'm gonna like I said, I'm flying out tomorrow, so let me grab my bag. I'm trying to get rid of all the quads that I don't use, but this is the one. These are the two. I'm bringing 3 quads with me to Vegas. I'm bringing this one. This is a Source One build I just put together. This one flies absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love this tune that I put on this. This one works great. Put a Caddx Vista in there. I've got the T-Motor F7 stack, and I've got the Zing 1800 kV motors. I recently switched over to 1920 kV Brother Hobby motors. And what I do find is that 1920 gives me just a little bit more oomph, a little bit more blip when I need it. I did go ahead and put a throttle limit on that. I put a throttle output limit to like 94% on those motors, because that thing was to the moon. Freaking great flight time. So with this build gets great flight times. The 1920 kVs, not so much. I had to like really tell myself stay off the freaking throttle. So, but the T motor build is great. This one's same thing. This is a T motor build as well, and this one's got an F4. But honestly, I don't notice any difference between the F4 and the F7. There's a really subtle difference, but I have the same motors on both of them. It's really, they're both identical builds. They weigh the same. Everything's identical from the motors to the build to everything. I kept it super the same. Even the profiles that I'm flying on, the tune is identical. So that's really important, just keeping things super consistent. But that bag weighs a freaking ton. I'm so thankful that I'm TSA pre-check, because I would be like losing my mind if I had to pull everything out of this bag. There is so much shit in this bag. It's unbelievable. I would lose my mind if I had to take that all apart tomorrow. So I decided I was going to take the soldering gun, but I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I probably shouldn't take any sort of soldering tools, because I feel like that would definitely get confiscated, and then I would be really pissed if I lost that. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to leave it. Let me jump back into the chat here. 2150 kVs. Yeah, 2150 kV is pretty good on 4S. I think it may be, for me, 2150 on 4S would be a little underpowered. 2150 on 5S would be a good sweet spot. 1920 on 6S is a freaking animal. I mean, I absolutely love that. 2400 kV, throttle limit to 80%. Roughly 1930 kV. Yeah, man, this, I don't know. I have my throttle output to 94% on the 1.6S build, just because it is such a freaking, it's insane. The hang time on that quad is amazing. I absolutely love that. TSA pre-check saved me so much hassle today. Yeah, so honestly, I've used the shit out of pre-check the past couple of times I've flown, and if you are going to travel with any amount of drone equipment or any amount of camera gear, you got to get pre-check. You have to get pre-check, because it saves you so much time. I mean, there used to be a time where it looked like I had a caravan, you know, across the TSA belt as I was taking laptops out, taking everything out of the bag. I don't have to worry about that with this. I am going to leave the quad strapped to the outside because I'm flying Delta and we're flying first class. So I'm like, fuck it. We'll just put it right under the front seat and we don't have to worry about it, because there should be plenty of room under those seats to fit that. So I'm not really worried about that. So I'm going to leave them just like that. I'm not even going to like, they're not going to say anything. I don't think they'll say anything. And if they do, I'll just say it's my child. I'll put it in my lap or something. Yeah, I've never, there's only been one time I've ever been stopped, and it was when I was leaving Denver from Spin Down. I left Spin Down, and this lady, it was the funniest shit. This is through pre-check, and she goes to me, "Hey, we have to ask you some more questions, and we need to swab your stuff." So they wanted to swab all my batteries, and then they also wanted to swab my equipment. And then she's holding the drone, and she's like, "Well, what is this?" And I'm like, "That's a drone." I'm like, that's a drone. Do you not know what the hell you're looking at? And it's like, that's when I knew that they were just clueless. So how pre-check works is you go in for a pre-screening. Basically, you go in, they ask you all these questions. They do a background check for you. It takes like 30 days to get pre-checked. But once you get pre-checked, you're on like this, we'll call it a whitelist with TSA, and you no longer have to take your shoes out. I don't have to open this bag. Like, look at this bag. Like I'll just open this here just to show you. Like, if I had to take this shit out of here, like, this thing is packed to the brim. I've got about 15 batteries in here, 3 Mavic Air 2 batteries, 12 FPV batteries. I've got my Tango 2, which is for FPV. I put a smart controller here. I've got my DJI goggles here. I've got the Mavic Air 2 here. I've got 3 different GoPros and 4 different camera batteries here. I've got the Lumix S5 up here, a lens underneath there, a mic here, some more shit. And then in these compartments up here, I have all the tools and antennas and all this other shit. It would be a nightmare, an absolute nightmare to take this out. And that's not even including what I put in my suitcase. My suitcase looks like a puzzle trying to put that shit together. I had to sit on it to get it to close. So pretty crazy. But that's hey, what is this 4K drone spam in the chat? Fuck, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 messages. What's going on? Why so many messages from that guy? Ban him. What is this? What is his messages? Let me see what this deleted message is. Fuck, your keyboard stuck? Get out of here, you schmuck bag. Spam my chat. 4K drone. Jesus Christ. Spam my chat. Drop the hammer on that son of a bitch. Drop the hammer on that son. Fucking spam my chat like that. So do they do a tattoo barcode on you? I don't think they did it. No, let me look. I mean, it could be a barcode. I don't know. I mean, it could also be a sore or something from jerking off too much. I'm not really sure. It's either one or the other. I'm not sure. We'll call it a barcode. There's that. God, that was a visual. Am I already done with this beer? All right. What the fuck were we talking about? I don't know. Oh, shit. The fucking bag fell into the chair. Scared the shit out of me. I'm on edge. I'm on edge tonight. Yeah, mine took about 30 days. I was checking. Then finally it came in the mail and I was like, yes, finally. So I'm glad. It took me longer. I went to do my pre-check and then they told me, oh, my birth certificate may not pass. So I had to call Long Island in the little town of freaking Babylon, get them to send me a freaking new birth certificate. Pissed me off 5 weeks later. I said a barcode, not a period. I mean, they're both the same. They both, stain something. They're Russ. No gators. No gators in Vegas. Thank God. I saw Ray Kelly saw a gator. Ray Kelly had a 12-footer. A 12-foot gator. 12-foot gator he was filming. I mean, that I would have took off, man. I would have been gone. Out the door. 12-foot gator, my ass. Holy shit. Now I'm sober and you were drunk. So, funniest story. This one night, I'm putting together this drone. I'm soldering and everything. My phone rings. It's this Texas phone number. And I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is calling me from Texas at this hour? And I answer the phone. It's Mike from Unbox Warehouse, and he is drunk as shit. He is lit. I built a whole drone. With him on the phone, and it takes me like an hour and 20 minutes to build a drone. I literally built a whole fucking drone with him on the phone. I even tuned it with him on the phone. Unbelievable. Good conversation though. Mike was lit that night. Well, Paul, you're just not special enough to receive those drunk calls. Mike and I are the men's men of men. That's right. The men's men of men. Menly men. All right. Well, Lon, I've never called you. Lon, I've never called you drunk, Lon. Never. Well, no, I take that back. There was the one day. And you did make sure I got home safe the one day. So that was good. Not that I was driving. That was when we were in Colorado, but that was different. All righty. What time is it? 9:38. We'll go ahead and call this right here and now. I'm doing good. We only have one dislike, I think. maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4. No, only one. Only one. That's good. That's a record for me. I mean, that's honestly a record for me. So somebody will bitch and complain if they made it this far. They'll be like, well, did he talk about jail time for crashing a drone? Did he talk about that? We talked about that in the beginning. If you made it this far, go back and look at the timestamp and you'll see that we did discuss this. So the title of this stream is factual. The title of this stream is factual. Where I'm going to be flying in Vegas, there's going to be 3 parts I'm going to be flying. The Strip, because we have a waiver, Red Rock, and we're going to be going to Speed Vegas. So we're going to be like, we rent it like Lambos and Ferraris, and we're going to just, I don't know, we're going to chase them. I'm going to chase them with the quad. I'm going to drive one of them for sure, but we're just going to chase them. And then we're going to be driving to Utah because there's a bunch of awesome places and sights to see driving to Utah. So I'm going to make the most of this trip. We're just going to go, it's just going to be for fun. No fun. Yeah. At the Vegas Speedway, wherever Speed Vegas is, wherever they have all the rental Lambos and shit. I think it's Vegas Speedway. They do it there. Anyways, we're going to fly there. It's going to be pretty dope. I'm going to have fun. They said we can fly, so we're going to fly. So, I mean, it's going to be fun to do it. So I've never I've chased a car, but I've not chased like a really fast car. So this is going to be fun. No doubt I'm not going to be able to keep up with it and make it back in the same time. So, but it's going to be fun as hell to do it. So Speed Vegas is by Gene. Let me look to see what it is. You know, I didn't even look what it is. I didn't book any of the shit. I know we're doing helicopters too. We're supposed to be doing the machine gun helicopters again. That was fun. Let me tell you, you want to blow money in like 30 seconds, do the machine gun helicopter. It's the most erotic feeling shooting a machine gun out of a helicopter and it's gone. It's like the first time you've ever had sex. It's done and over with before you know it. It's amazing. It's the most amazing feeling in the world. This stream's probably been just demonetized, and maybe they just suppressed me altogether at this point. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Let me look. So Speed Vegas, I see what they have here. They have track events. Yeah, this looks cool. This looks really cool. So it's actually like it looks like a road course almost. It says it's the longest, fastest track in Vegas. It's a 1.5 mile track, 20-degree bank turn. So this is like a full-on track. This is going to be cool as shit. So we're doing the supercar package. So I think we did the Lucky 7. I think it's 7 laps in a tier 1 car and a tier 2 car. So let's see what those exactly are. What are those cars? So the cars that they have for the tier 1 is you have the Porsche Cayman 718. You can do the Corvette Z51 or the Supra GR. Tier 2 car is the C8 Z51, the Shelby GT500, the 911, or the Acura NSX. But I think we're doing tier 3, which is the Ferrari 488 GTB and the Lamborghini Huracan. They also have a 911 GT3. So that's going to be cool. I know we had to sign a lot of insurance papers. So it's going to be fun as shit. So I'm going to try to keep the acrobatics to a minimum just to make it like watchable. And I think I'm going to stabilize it with real steady just so I can get that really immersive feel to it. I'm stoked to fly. It's going to be a fun time. So Vegas.com. What the hell Mike just say? Just put it in the middle of the ground, spin around. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Not a good idea. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to bring my soldering iron, though. I thought about it, Fraser. I'm bringing 3 different quads. So if I break 3 quads, I need to just stop. If I break 3 drones, I need to stop. A lot of times when I'm flying, we'll call it cinematic flight. You know, when I'm not doing any freestyle. Like all the flight that I'm going to be doing is more like point of interest and more of that immersive style of flight. When I'm flying like that, I don't break anything. Knock on wood. When I fly like that, I don't break stuff. It's when I start doing freestyle, that's when shit starts breaking. But I'm bringing 3 of them. I have 3 GoPros, 3 drones. So if I lose one, I still have 2. And then if I lose them all, I guess it's sort of like losing all your money. It is Vegas. I mean, that would be okay, I guess, at that point. So either way, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We brought plenty of toys to break, and that's all good. Has anybody heard from DW? Haven't seen any of his nonsense pop up in my feed. Can't say that I have, man. Can't say that I have. Yeah, well, let's see. Oh shit, that's done printing. Did you guys? I've had a 3D printer growing this entire time. I put a new silent board in the 3D printer, and it's working amazing. Yeah, if I need a soldering iron, I'll just go buy one from like Walmart or wherever they have an electronics store, which I'm sure in Vegas they have a bunch of places that I could buy one and just get one super cheap and just check my luggage going home. The only reason why I can't check my luggage is because the bag that I'm bringing doesn't have a compartment for a laptop. So I have to put my laptop in the front compartment of my overhead bag. So because of that, I can't check the bag. If I could, I would, but I can't. So that's the reason why. So is what it is. My new quad reminds me of that guy every time I boot up. Eddie, what did your OSD say, Eddie? What is the name of that quad? I sold Eddie Nunez a quad. He bought my Nazgul 5 HD, and when he booted the quad up and he was looking through the goggles, like you can have a craft name, and I forgot I put a very important tagline in there. Yeah, it said "F you, Dan." I forgot that was from way back when I was feuding with him. Oh shit. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna rock for today. I am out. It is 9:46. I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. And how do I like traveling with the Tango 2? I like traveling with the Tango 2. However, I still feel like I still want to go back to a full-size controller. Like I like the Tango 2, but I have this too. So I have a Tyrannus and I have the T18 from Jumper. I like the Tyrannus's feel, but I don't like FR Sky. Like I just hate FR Sky with a passion. And I have the Jumper, which I like this controller, but I always break switches. Like that's why I like the Tango. The Tango is great. You don't break switches on the Tango, which I love. It's super, super easy. Throw it in your bag, fold down the gimbals, and it saves a lot of room. This, I just like the gimbals on the T18 though. Like these gimbals are so freaking sexy. Like I feel like from a control standpoint, like I feel like the T18 has like some of the best control. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I like this, but I saw that Radio Master is putting out they have their T16S, which is slightly smaller in size from the T18. I may go back to a Radio Master and just throw the Crossfire module so I can get like that full 1 gig support, or that 1 watt. Was that 1 watt? I think it's 1 watt that thing pushes, but I may go back to a Radio Master. I may sell the T18. I'm a pincher, so as a pincher, it's like, I don't know. I feel like the Tango is just a tiny bit cramped. I don't know. That's what I feel anyways. I like the Tango for travel, but I like the Radio Master or the T18 when I'm flying like normally. So I'm thinking I'm going to go Radio Master. I mean, so many people have said such great things. The one thing that pisses me off with the Jumper is I've had a lot of issues with the Jumper. I don't think the internals are the same. People say, oh, the Radio Master is just a rebranded Jumper. I don't think that's the case. I think that the internals from the Jumper to the TX16 Radio Master are entirely different. I think the Radio Master has a better quality control than Jumper because this thing's had a lot of issues, and that's why I don't use it. It's just not reliable. So I'm probably going to go back to Radio Master. I'll probably, like when I'm in Vegas, I'll probably buy the TX 16S, and it's like $249, but I mean, I don't give a shit. I just rather go back to something full size. Yeah, the jumper has ribbons and it's shit. They always break. The jumper has shit. But that's the thing, Lon, that's the thing. Like, you always find what works best. What works best for now doesn't always work best. It's not like flying a Mavic. Like, after a period of time, you realize, well, wait a second, my hands are too cramped. If I just had a little bit more room, you just feel more dialed in. I felt really dialed in when I was using a full-size RC. I always felt dialed in. As far as the Apex frame, like I said, I really like the Apex frame. That's going to be my go-to frame for the foreseeable future. They're expensive, but they work really well. And like I said, they're super, super durable. I've smashed that thing a couple of times and I've not nearly a nick on it. So I'm all right with that. Oh, far with the GoPro. Shit, late again. Never late. Always on time. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing, is having like multi-spectrum support is important too. Like right now with the Tango, I can only fly Crossfire, which I only fly Crossfire, but sometimes people will send me a drone to review and it has Fly Sky or it has FR Sky. And then I have to use another RC. So I want to use something that I'm always going to use. I mean, I'm familiar with this, but I think I'm going to go back to a full-size RC. I like the Tango 2, I like, but it's cramped as a pincher. Yeah, and exactly. Radio Master will work with Tracer, but I've seen people fail-safing on Tracer. So I'm going to stick with Crossfire. I don't notice latency like that. That's the reason why people go with Tracer. But if you're flying DJI, I don't think you're going to notice the latency from Crossfire. Like Tracer, I just don't think is worth it. I just think it's best to stay with Crossfire, to be honest with you. Yo, Casey, I'm telling you, dude, that thing hit the ground so freaking hard the other day. I thought for sure, I'm like, oh, for sure I broke it. And I walk over to it, I pick it up, I'm looking over it, not even a chip in the carbon, which is absolutely amazing. So see right there, you fail safed on freaking Tracer. Exactly. I'd rather just stay with Crossfire. I've never had an issue with Crossfire. There's nothing wrong with the 915 megahertz that is being pushed. Fly Zone, I appreciate it, man. I can't wait to talk more about that once they allow us to talk about it more. So once they do, I will absolutely be sharing details about that with you guys for sure, for certain. You know, that's the thing. You know, why we have these big gimbals? Like, why do we need switches like this? Like, you don't need these. Make these into buttons or something. I don't know. Make them into buttons or make the switches a little bit smaller. I mean, yeah, they're durable. I mean, yeah, I saw Bot Grinder. Bot Grinder did fail safe today, and his orcas also died. I saw that. But I mean, yeah, make folding gimbals. I just don't understand. Like, why can't we have folding gimbals on these? I don't get it. Like, that's such a genius thing. Or make them at least removable even. I don't care. To mentor me. Mike, do you fly FPV, man? Mic'd up. Let me look at mic'd up. Mike says he's from Tampa. If he flies FPV, I'd be game. Okay, yeah, man. I would love, like, I always like to fly with people that can give constructive criticism. Like, if we're flying and you got information that could help me possibly improve, I'm all about that, man. I love flying with people that can sort of like, correct mistakes I'm making, because I'm flying. I don't really fly with anybody that's saying, oh, do this or do that. I just fly by myself. So I'd absolutely take you up on that offer, man. I'm always down there by the tower flying, so I would definitely love to fly, man. I'm in Pasco. We should fly some. Oh, you're right down the street, man. Absolutely. I'm gonna do another meetup when I get back from Vegas. I'm gonna schedule like a more of a meetup. Well, the next meetup I do, I promise I have to deliver a drone to somebody in Vero. So the next meetup I do is going to be on the east coast of Florida. It's probably going to be north of Palm Beach, either Sebastian or possibly Jupiter, somewhere in there. But when I get back from Vegas, the first thing I'm doing is we're going to have a meetup down in like the Palm Beach sort of area. Somewhere down there, we're going to do a meetup. So for everybody who's in South Florida, that is on the East Coast. We're going to do a meetup on the East Coast side. So we'll just hang out in Tampa Bay Tilt. Okay. All right, Mike, I'll check you out. I'll shoot you a DM on Instagram, man. I will definitely shoot you a DM. So it's Tampa Bay Tilt. Let me do that now because otherwise I will absolutely forget. Tampa Bay Tilt. All right. There we go. I just followed you, man. So there we go. Matt, you're in Lauderdale. Perfect, man. So when I'm down there, I'll make sure I put out a post, and that way everybody who's in the South Florida area can partake. All right. So we'll go ahead and do that like pretty soon. We should meet in Daytona. Oh wait, never mind. Lon, you don't even live in Florida, bro. You're not even in Florida. And plus 2 Daytona 500 is going on in February. Nobody wants to do that. All righty. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch everybody later. And there's that. I will see you guys on the flip side. Hopefully I don't lose everything this weekend. When am I heading to North Dakota? That'd be awesome. I hopefully one day. Not soon, though. But one day. All right, guys. Stay original. We'll see you next time.
I want you. I need you.